Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. So I appreciate everyone's patience. We'll begin shortly with a story by Brian Conroy. We went a bit late because we had our group photo, which took a little bit longer. We hadn't planned for a group photo, but Jing Fosher insisted. So we had a chance for everyone to take a photo together, and people are just finishing up lunch. 欢迎大家，大家如果可以就是忍耐一下。我们今天晚开始，因为我们有一个团体照，就耽误大家的时间一点。但是大家现在用完斋，都在慢慢的集合在佛殿。我们开始会有那个 Brian 来跟大家分享一个故事。Okay, so may I pull up the screen first for Brian to tell the story, and then we will pull it down for Reverend Heng Sure.
Have a chance to introduce Brian in the morning. It's a really all the stories with the talk really come alive and bring us to this space of when we sometimes forgotten to be in this kind of childhood-like wandering field. Oh, one more thing.
Is this okay way out here? Or? Okay. Good.
There, perfect.
That good?
Okay, just look behind you.
Okay. Okay, great.
How lost Jing Wei Shi? So for those who just showed up, who didn't get a chance, we have these New Year wishes cards that you can put your wish on, and we'll save it for the year here at the monastery, hoping that your wishes will come true. We have extra sheets on the side here if you would like to write your wish on it. 如果大家想要写在他们的那个怎么说愿望，在我们一张纸头上，你可以写下来，然后我们放在道场里面。Oh, okay. Okay, so we will begin with a story by Brian Conroy. As Jing Wei Shi just said, Brian is our resident storyteller, and he just said this morning he began here 1997. 1997. So it's been 28 years here at the monastery telling stories. And somehow these stories never get old. Every time you hear them, it's like a new life. So very welcome, Brian. If you come and please share your story. Same place, and I will zoom in on you on the screen.
Okay.
Okay. And Reverend Sure is there too. You can see him.
Good.
Side. Just 1 minute, then we
Sure.
stop the projecting screen. Okay.
A young woman named Tao attended a week-long meditation retreat at a nearby monastery. She left the retreat feeling so inspired, she made up her mind to begin meditating every single day as soon as she graduated from college. Now, when Tao graduated with honors from a prestigious university, she made up her mind to begin meditating every single day as soon as she established her career. Upon launching a highly successful law practice, she made up her mind to begin an equally successful meditation practice as soon as she got married. Well, Tao married her childhood sweetheart, and they settled down. And now that she's settled down, she made up her mind to begin meditating every single day as soon as she raised her family. Well, Tao and her husband raised a family, a boy and a girl, and they grew up, and 30 years passed, and then they left home to begin careers and families of their own. And now that Tao was an empty nester, she made up her mind to begin meditating every single day as soon as she saved enough money to retire. But by the time Tao retired, her knees were weak, and her back ached, and her breathing was labored, and she had trouble focusing. 40 years had passed since that inspirational meditation retreat, but all of Tao's good intentions were lost in the bustle of a busy life. So, whether you make the Bodhi resolve, or a New Year's resolution, or a commitment to meditate, remember, there's no time like the present.
Wonderful. Okay, so now we will have Rev Heng Sure share with everyone. If people just wait 1 minute, we'll take down the projector screen. Yeah, you have to put down this here. There you go. Oh, the camera went out, Jingwei. Can you? Yeah, the camera cable came out. The camera went off. You have to re-plug it in. Is it? No. Wonderful, Dharma Master. We can see you and hear you.
Yay. Wait a minute.
Our
there.
camera doesn't work for some reason. It just went out.
Oh, no.
Okay, well, if you give us... oh, here. Oh, good. It works now. Great. Okay, it works. Can you turn it a little bit to your left, Jingwei Shi? That we can see the men's side too. Great. Okay.
You ready?
We are. We hear you clear.
Okay, I want you to look at my desktop.
Oh, wow. That's fast.
Boy, as I look at that desktop, gee whiz, look at all the old people. Look at Kai, look at Philip. Oh my goodness, look at Marion. Marion is there. Look, oh, and except for the monk in the middle, I'm the oldest one of all. Oh my goodness. When we hear that Brian was there since 1997, there's some other folks there who are still holding up Nam, holding up the monastery. Look at that, all those old folks. And that's who we count on. And you know what? I realize that the people who actually come to the monastery year after year, we tend to last long. It's really true, isn't it? That people who uh, if you want to put your roots down deep into the soil of a place, that place tends to endure. Yeah. So 孤地生根 is just true. When you plant your roots deep in the Buddha Dharma and you actually let it percolate through your bloodstream so that you kind of you because you've been holding the precepts for a long time and because the friends you make tend to be Buddhist friends more than, social friends or work friends. It's just somehow it's like the things you do just tend to work out. And it's not a mystery. This is called fu, fu qi, fu bao, blessings. So those old faces, I'm looking at them right now on my desktop. My goodness. And there are some young faces too. It's nice to see, the next generation and the next generation. Brian's story talked about somebody named Tao. That was a very interesting choice of names for the hero in the story, I thought. And Tao is saying, not me, not me. I meditate. She does. She does. She meditates. See, I think Brian probably got approval for that name before he told the story. So anyway, but to see the young folks' faces and know that the reason that the things are working out is because of their actual commitment. Now, I want to talk a little bit about, my job. I need to translate for myself in just a minute, but I'm gonna unshare my screen here. There we go. The job of the monks on Lunar New Year's is to say auspicious things. It really is. And you've heard me say year after year that Lunar New Year's is not my holiday, but just because I wasn't raised in it. So it can become, I picked it up. I learned 1 year in particular in Taiwan. I spent the whole Lunar New Year's cycle in Taiwan, 10 days. The country shuts down. And I learned about the first day, you go to the monastery to light incense and pray for luck for the year. The second day, you go home to your wife's family, and everybody drinks and lucky wine. You drink lucky things, and you fight because you know. So then I went through the whole cycle all the way to the end, Tuanyuan, where you eat special foods, round dumpling things that signify the year is underway. And you've recycled through. But that first day, when everybody goes to the monastery, I remember the year that I used to always go down to Gold Sage every Sunday. And let's see, today here is Thursday, here's Wednesday in California. The big news that year was that in San Jose, where there's something like 300 Vietnamese Buddhist monasteries in San Jose, people bring so much incense on that first day that inside the Buddha hall where you were putting the incense down, there were clouds of incense and people couldn't really see faces. And so 2 rival Vietnamese youth gangs came face to face in the clouds of incense, and they didn't see each other. They couldn't avoid each other until it was too late, and out came the guns. And there was a shootout at the temple because of the gangs. In the Vietnamese San Jose Buddhist community, that ordinarily they'd avoid each other, but because they made so much incense smoke, they couldn't tell who was who. So that's kind of why we give you 1 stick, maybe 3 at the most. So, and then we used to hire somebody to carry the incense outside as soon as you offered it. So yeah, I've been doing this for a while. It's not our first New Year's rodeo. So let me say some auspicious things in Chinese. 就说看到大家的面孔，哇，看到好熟悉的 这个面孔哈。就 Brian 刚刚说，他97年先到了 Berkeley，还有哇，你看到这些老头，我是除了金佛师，我是头最老的，你看不到，因为剃光了。如果不剃光，这都白的啊，一定的啊。不过今年一四新春出家人必须要讲一些锐气淫欲啊，业有所成，学有精进，鸿鹤高飞，指引青云之上，身康体安，万事顺遂啊，福泽绵延，万事皆安。希望如此啊。那如果可以这样子呢，那就今年这个蛇年木蛇一定会比去年好多啊。那么这个我就注意看到那个 desktop 我们再来看这个 desktop，很好。那么你看这些面孔，哇，不容易的。这个有的佛友每一年回来，每一年到过年的时候，就都会看到面孔。为什么呢？你们有没有注意，修行的人有福报，就是这个。你接近佛法，就佛法，你吸气不吸气，就是有一点的香味一点莲花的这个味道，就到你肺部里边了就好像可以呼长一点啊。那么你吃的饭是清净的斋菜，那个六根这个六脏五腑呢，调打，就比较合适，比较延长是不是那么睡觉慢慢的那个梦想都会更吉祥的梦是因为就有天龙八部在那儿护持，一定有这么一回事，大家知道的所以呢，这不是说就说平时不烧香，即是报佛祖。你真的来听到佛法那个慢慢的菩提生根了那么你懂得做人呢做事可是有智慧，这是实在的这个情形。所以这不是什么就是今天过年你就来了，然后第二天就上 Brian 的故事就不回来了，等到家庭建立了才来了，这不算的。Okay, so let me get back to English here. So it's you really, I mean, it's no, this is not magic. The difference between the gunfight in the temple on New Year's and Master Hua's monasteries is that we somehow, people who draw near Master Hua and his Dharma teaching tradition come for. Is there a social aspect? Yeah, look at the photo. My goodness, that's a social reality of our monasteries. Berkeley Monastery, lots and lots of Vietnamese American faces, lots and lots of Chinese American faces, and young people as well. 3 generations here in that photo. Some folks are brand new. We have left home people and those on the path, which is just the vision. This is Master Hua's vision. We're looking at a fruition of a vision. So there is social stuff, but it's not only a social stuff. And there are traditional Buddhist monasteries where you come to find your wife, you come to find your husband, you come to because this is your social circle, and that's as it should be. That's a healthy community. But it's one thing that we've never really been. We've never been a place to come and do business. And that's a real function of a lot of Buddhist monasteries in the Chinese Mahayana, Vietnamese Mahayana tradition, that you can safely trade with somebody in the monastery because you're going to see them next Sunday. They can't cheat you because it's 不好意思 if they do. So yeah, there's a bit of that, but less of that for Shifu's monasteries. What we have, and we said this a couple years ago, and it's really true, that if Shifu was here, I would want to renegotiate how we refer to Berkeley Monastery. People say 不可来色, and it doesn't sound right at all, right? 不可来, you can't come. What would we call it? We would call it 不可来讲堂, or 金什么讲堂. We call it a lecture hall. That would be, it is also the 宗教研究院. It's true, it's the Institute for World Religions. But what we do mostly here is we want to find out what the Buddha said. That's kind of how we were set up. And of course, that became I had no idea that I was going to become somebody related to a book, related to a sutra, but I am. And that's my entire life is related to the Avatamsaka Sutra. Who knew? No clue. I didn't know the name of the Avatamsaka Sutra. I wanted to get enlightened as a Chan monk, a Zen monk. So then I met Shifu and all that nonsense. That's not nonsense. It's still possible. It just wasn't my path. So the Berkeley Jiangtang is really the lecture hall, place where you come together to investigate. And just with that in mind, I had this. I'll say a few more words and I'll stop. I had this awareness after, I guess, after coming back from China. I looked at what I'm doing with my time. And so on Friday evenings in California, which is Saturday noon here, organized for the community here in Australia, I was explaining the life story of a pilgrim, Master Empty Cloud, Xu Lao Heshang, his picture biography, and we were talking about his long pilgrimage across China. And then he continued to walk after he arrived at Wu Taishan. He walked to Tibet, then he walked to Burma, he walked back to China. And then the next day, on Saturday, in California, Saturday night, which is Sunday, I was talking about another pilgrim. His name is Sudana. And Sudana, the young man, just started walking for Buddhahood. From Manjushri Bodhisattva, send him to teacher. So here's my second Buddhist pilgrim traveling to look for the Dharma. And then I realized, it's interesting, on Sunday nights in California, Monday mornings here, Monday noons here, I'm exploring with everybody the 10 Transferences chapter. And then I tell the story of Master Xuanzang, another Buddhist pilgrim seeking sutras and proper explanations of the Dharma to bring back to China. So somehow, without planning it, I didn't think it was going to be this way. I found myself as somebody who has done a Buddhist pilgrimage talking about Buddhist pilgrims. How interesting that just kind of came about. So at the Berkeley Jiangtang and the online Berkeley Jiangtang, which now, by the way, you all know that if you want to do Cao Ke with the monks, tune in to DRBA Live. You can join the Redwood Vihara Sangha to do Cao Ke. And it's back online after the summer's break. So this is our bigger BBM, DRBA, Shrenhua Shangren's Dharma tradition community is now expanded. So we have lectures from Australia, we've got ceremonies from the Redwoods, we've got lectures in BBM, and this wonderful community whose faces I'm looking at right now. How fine is that? 就说Berkeley 如果要改名字叫伯克莱讲堂啊，因为不知不觉我自己就看到，嘿，奇怪哦。Can you all see? I've got and show you my cockatoos. No, I don't do that. I got birds looking in my window here telling me that it's time for me to feed them. 这个如果我就奇怪，我就说，嘿，你看我在网上的博客来讲堂，我做什么呢？我是讲三个佛教的这个朝圣，就是虚老和尚画传，就是他三步一拜，然后走路到西藏，走路到缅甸，走路回来中国。还有我讲上菜童子就走路认识53个善知识，要正佛，要成佛。然后星期一呢，这里星期一，你们那边星期天，我就讲这个华严经的这个十回上品，然后每个礼拜讲一点玄奘大师，他去印度取经了，所以不知不觉每一天每个礼拜都有讲了3个朝圣的佛教徒的和尚的故事，其实上菜童子不是和尚，很有意思哈 ，very interesting how that happened. So I know my time is up, and I know there are people who are saying, "How come we don't see your face except on a screen?" And I counted, and today is, let's see here. I've got my. Have you distributed this year's calendars? If you don't have them, I don't want to get people greedy if you don't have them. But this is our 2025 DRBA calendar.
We have them. If you haven't gotten one yet, we can have them available for you out in the back here. So please ask if you didn't get one. We have plenty more for everyone.
Great. These are
Now is the right time to get it. It's January still.
One per family, please.
One per family. One per
Third in
family.
your kitchen. Yeah. Okay. It is the 30th. We've got 2 more days of January here, but our snake year has begun. You're the wooden snake, and I counted up, and I will be back in 90 days. I'll see you all in 90 days. Meanwhile, let's see here. What have we got? This is the one that I want to share this with everybody. Here is my official happy greeting for everyone. 蛇年吉祥. And people say, I was amazed that people said, wow, AI generated snake, that's amazing. It looks so lifelike. In fact, that's a real snake. That's a real snake. And here's the, the snake is called Fractal. 7-year-old female when this picture was taken. She's saying, hi. There. Happy Year of the Snake. She's a pet, somebody's pet, and she lives in a terrarium most of the time. Started out about 12 inches long, and I wouldn't raise a snake because you got to feed them frozen mice and things like that, mice that come out of the freezers. So I wouldn't keep a carnivorous creature. The ones outside my window right this minute are seed eaters mostly. Okay. The year that just passed for me included trips to CTDB from Australia. CTDB was for, you'll remember, the precepts for the deceased, the lay bodhisattva precepts, the Eightfold Precepts. We had Buddha Root Farm, amazing event. Went twice to Sydney, which is like going to LA from the Gold Coast, for a Buddhist forum. Then flew to Vancouver for the 40th anniversary of Gold Buddha. Then went to Singapore for a Medicine Buddha retreat and a concert of Buddhist songs. Then came back to Australia. Then went to China for the 6th Buddhist Forum with Jin Chuan Tianwei and a number of lay people. And then came back to Australia and just recently returned from Taiwan. So for somebody who's like 75 years old, my bones are too creaky to do that again. That was too much travel in 1 year. So this it's nice for me to be able to stay in one place or two places, California and Australia. I carry two passports. So I will be traveling less. And even though I wasn't in Berkeley and Redwood Vihara that much, I was in other places. Somebody's going to have to step up behind me because I can't maintain that kind of travel schedule. That's Ajahn Pasano doesn't try to do it. He settles in one place or two places. Me too. When you get that old. Meanwhile, I'm not lazy. I'm turning out books. I'm hoping that we're going to have a Mahayana practice book soon, and volume 10 of Three Steps One Bow. Hope that will be out soon. 就说去年就我自己本身呢动了太多今年要静要写书我们需要一个介绍汉传佛教修行方法，如何修到一本书，希望那个可以没有多久都会现前了。The best news for some of us is I just finished with Jerry and Sandy and Lighting and others and Homero Espinoza a album of Buddhist music called Urban Lotus. Urban Lotus. This is American Buddhist Folk Songs, Volume 3, basically. So that should be in your hands before the next couple of weeks. We're just in the process of doing the finishing touches. 刚刚录好了，写好了另外一个佛教歌曲，英文佛教歌曲的一个光碟，快要出来了Jerry 许世界还有Sandy 还有来听Homero 我们都把它做好了，所以没有多久大家都可以听到，可以在车上开车的时候放，可以在走路的时候可以听。Okay, so that album will be available for when you're on the road, listening or need some inspiration. I hope that will provide it. Okay, I'm done. Have you dedicated merit? Is that something you want to do?
So, dear Master, if you could lead us in the final dedication of merit, it would be great.
Can. As they say in Singapore, can. Let's see here. Here we go. I've got the actual instrument for the dedication merit right here. Hold on. How do we... Just one moment, be right with you. I managed to catch my robe in my wheels of my chair. There we go. Okay. How do we dedicate merit? We make a wish. How is the year ahead presents opportunities, presents challenges. I know some of our family members have passed away, and we have a sense of how come Guan Yin didn't save them? Everybody has our own times of coming and going, and we want to not look long, or we want to look long, just not look ahead of us. The ocean of karma of all of us, each one of us, is deep and wide, and often it's not revealed to us in the moment. We have to look long, and by coming to the monastery today for the new year and sharing with friends and hearing the Dharma and kind of fertilizing our good roots, we're growing these seeds for this year, but also for 10 years from now, for 20 years from now, for all the different relationships that we have. And there's nothing more powerful in the world than a purified mind, a purified human mind. So if things have not gone our way, it's not the fault of the Dharma. It's the question of how much fertilizer, how much did I add to my good roots, that I allowed me to give more to those around me. So that's a hard lesson to learn, but this is a true lesson. It's not a promise. It's true that the more work I do in my own mind ground, the more I'm able to benefit those around me directly. So, and of course we get all the benefit ourselves by doing that. So let's send out those good roots. Think of Los Angeles. Think of people who are afraid of bird flu coming. Think of the crisis of the floods in North Carolina and what's ahead. So let's open our hearts and let that good energy go far. Here we go. If people hear and see how hands and hearts can find in giving unity, they are minds of to great compassion, wisdom, and to may kindness find reward. May all sorrow be their grief, and may this boundless light dispel the darkness of a endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate and one. May all become compassionate and one. Now, if people, right from where you're sitting, do you want to turn around and face the Buddhas? Jin Chuan, I'll let you do the bowing. I don't know what your situation is, so why don't you and Jinwei Shi?
So we can bow to the Buddhas together. I'll put up the projector screen, and everyone can please stand. 大家请起立。So do 3 bows to the Buddha. 我们一起礼佛3拜。 Bow in respect to the Venerable Master.
Amitofo, everybody. See you later.
Amitofo.
See you in 90 days.
Amitofo.
Bye.
So wish everyone a good rest of the day and also rest of the year. Happy you could come and join us here at Berkeley Buddhist Monastery for the Lunar New Year. And is there any other announcements?
We have a few announcements.
Announcement?
The one is
we have. Oh yes,
up.
we have wishes on our Christmas tree here. So if everybody, before you go, we might not have enough for every single person, so you can share one if you like. You take one of these off, and then you can open it, and then you'll have a message for the new year.
The words of wisdom.
Words of wisdom for the new year. So for instance,
scrolls of wisdom.
you open it up and see what it says. It says, this is a Nigerian proverb that says, give thanks for a little and you will find a lot. Give thanks for a little and you will find a lot.
Remember that.
Remember, yes. So if you like, there probably is like 30 or 40 on the tree, so please come and pick one and you can have as your New Year kind of teaching.
So after you take the wisdom scrolls, those who can stay a little bit longer, we have a little here cleaning, moving stuff around operation. So we need to move those bowing cushions back to the wall over there. Those who knows where they were placed before, please help. The red chairs go up, to the corner. And also we need to move a lot of chairs and tables from the parking lot to the dining hall and hide them in the little storage. So have a little bit work.
So one key thing for these red chairs is they have to be perfectly aligned, otherwise they'll lean. So I don't know if one of the men who can, maybe I'm being cheated, you know what we're talking about for the chairs? If you could be in the back, just make sure they're all lined up. Otherwise, one doesn't line up properly and all the other ones get sideways.
The chairs not aligned is dukkha.
Okay, so appreciate anybody who has time afterwards to help out. Otherwise, wish you a good year, and please pick up a scroll.
Please, your scroll.
Okay, I'm Rodolfo. Okay, I'm almost take a photo.
Okay, thank you. Okay, wonderful. It was